Daniel Larson is a character who's been on the internet for years now. He's had his fair share of controversies and legal battles in the past, but recently it appears it's finally reached breaking point. Daniel is as good as behind bars. On April 30th, 2024, he was arrested and charged with 6 counts of use or threatened use of explosive material. Now you may be wondering, what did he threaten to bomb? The White House?
I sent a message to the fucking feds. You fucking don't listen to me, I will fucking kill you too. Murder! Bomb you! The fucking White House too! Bomb you! Call the feds on me, you fucking liar!
Now I don't know about you, but that's probably something that you don't want to document. But I think it's fair to say that somebody screaming at their phone like this with the fluids existing, well, it's fair to say they're a bit different. And this isn't the first time he's allegedly threatened with bombing. It appears that for Daniel, this is a regular thing. If someone angers him, bombing. You overcook his steak, bombing. But Daniel has got one more charge aside from the bombings. He also got one count for threatening to injure an FBI agent, where he allegedly threatened to unalive somebody. And the person in question is apparently Daniel McDougall, who is supposedly a Secret Service agent. It's important to know just how many charges he has, because if he is found guilty of all of these, he will face 65 years in prison, or a $250,000 fine per charge, which is $1.5 million. And I know full well that Daniel Larson is a massively infamous lolcow, but I'm not sure he has $1.5 million at his disposal, considering about 10 months ago he said this.
I am bankrupt.
Poor Daniel, I guess he can't pay the fine. Maybe he will just have to do the time. But something that I found very intriguing from that video we just watched earlier, which got him in a spot of bother. He quite literally ended that video that we watched earlier by saying, "Call the police," and he was talking to a minor.
Call the feds on me, you fucking liar!
The feds got you?
Yeah, this time the feds got me. And Bob told me that it wasn't going to happen and he didn't believe me. And sure enough, the feds were there and they charged me with 7 counts.
That could have probably gone better. I'm not really sure what he was aiming for here though, you know, minors, explosives. It's not looking good for Mr. Larson. But I do think it is important to highlight here that Daniel is somebody who is clearly in a world of his own. I'm not excusing threatening to bomb the White House because that is quite frankly absurd. It's literally speed running your way to jail. But it's clear to see that he isn't present. So some people seem to think that the proposed jail time isn't fair. And while I do think that locking away a guy who is clearly not on this planet, it's not going to do a lot for him. But if you're going around making threats like this, then what can they do? Well, you can't really leave him roaming the streets, can you? And to be fair, it seems like he's not really too fond on the people trying to help him out, because count 1 was him allegedly threatening to bomb a courthouse in Colorado, or known as July 3rd incident. Again, probably not a very wise thing to do. I personally wouldn't do that myself, and I'd probably say to anybody watching, don't try this at home. But I'm not actually going to be showing the documents in this video because I don't know if, like, for legal reasons I can, so just to cover myself, I will be reading them instead. But just to give some context, the July 3rd incident involved Daniel having a full-scale meltdown in the YouTube community tab. The incident began with posts discussing an apparent court case claiming that it was a copyright-related lawsuit. This was actually used as a result of his Spotify being hacked. The apparent use of these were to scare people that were impersonating him on Spotify. Immediately after posting this, Daniel threatened to flipping bomb Spotify's flipping headquarters and sue the living poo out of them. Right, I'm not sure that's the best strategy. Threatening to bomb someone and then following up with threatening to sue them. Just a hunch, you might want to change your approach here, if you ever see the light of day again. After posting a few more times about Spotify, he discussed a new argument with his mentor, Bob Proctor, blaming the Denver County Court and as such threatening to bomb the courthouse. After more miscellaneous posts, Daniel declared it was code flipping death and that he would be nuking the Reddit headquarters. We've all been there. Obviously, I'm joking. Nuking is way too far. But no, obviously, this is absolutely ridiculous. But after threatening to nuke Reddit, he apparently went on to threaten war with the government, which I'm guessing he has lost or is very much losing, because it kind of seems as though they've been building a case on him for quite a while now. But on to count 2, another alleged bombing. Shock. But this time it's described as a non-profit center in Colorado. Now, I believe some would know this as the August 7th incident involving DDRC. To be completely transparent, this was probably one of the hardest events to actually get some sort of information on to talk about in this video, but all leads do seem to point it in the direction of DDRC.
So,
first off, I want to make this clear. DDRC, my old case management, and my case manager, Reva, she was never doing anything that she claimed that she was going to do. We would always call a team meeting, and then she would say all sorts of things like that she was going to pay for my recording studio sessions. She was going to make sure I get to the recording session.
So Daniel Larson wanted to get in the studio, and I speak for everyone when I say we need that. But now he's in trouble. But we all know that things like this happen to everybody in life. It's about how you deal with the setbacks that builds character and takes you to new places. But as we all know, Daniel's approach could probably do with some work. But like I said earlier, this event is probably one of the lesser documented ones, or at least pushed down the pecking order in terms of Daniel Larson law relevancy. But count 3 is, of course, you guessed it, another alleged bombing. This one being the White House. I think it goes without saying that this is absolutely mental. I don't know in what world you can see this going well for you. Like, what can I even add to this? The man threatened to bomb the White House. You've allegedly threatened to bomb the United States president. Notably though, this was the same month as the last case. August proving to be a very busy month for Daniel and all of his threats. He was clearly very motivated in August 2023. Maybe it was particularly sunny in Colorado last summer, but on to count 4 now. He allegedly threatened to damage or destroy by means of explosive a state government building in Colorado. It's listed as on or about September 26th, 2023. And from Daniel Larson Wiki, where most of the information from this video comes from, they say on the 26th of September 2023, Daniel posts on the community tab in Paranoia saying that fake Grace has a gun to her head, a fake Tina telling him to go live, and him threatening to bomb some places, including Bob's car, an airport, the Colorado University, and another US building. He also threatened to unalive Bob when he doesn't go live, and also threatened to unalive himself again. The last post for this community tab Paranoia is him accusing Columbia Records for being manipulative. Daniel has the police called on him and he is questioned during a live stream. Now that seems like a very busy day to me. But yeah, as you can see, a fair few threats were made that day. But notably, 3 days later, Daniel makes more bomb threats like bombing every business he walks to, bombing Columbia Records, and bombing every police station. Daniel goes on a rant about the police being questioned in a video and refers to them as ends, then goes on to drop a hard R after warning he's about to say it. There's been that many that now we just refer to them as the dates and then we find the references. Like, I understand the police have to build a case on someone like this. You know, the more dirt on him you get, the longer you can lock him away, and then you don't have to worry about him ever again, really. But the guy was literally walking around saying words like this and making threats like this. What if one day he actually went through with one of the threats? And there are a lot of things that other people on the internet have accused him of doing that I'm not going to go into, but they do seem very, very dark. But if he did ever go through one of these threats, you're then talking about cure rather than prevention. But all of this could have gone a lot worse, let's be honest. But all the things that we mentioned earlier actually include the next count too. The last batch of threatened bombings included Colorado University. And according to the wiki page, it does seem like Daniel went through a bit of a college phase. It's reported that he did want to sign up, but it seems like people were sending all of his content to the universities to basically make sure that he would never step foot in them. Which, I mean, I guess is protecting the people that attend those universities. Because imagine you see this man rock up to your campus. I genuinely think I would just freeze on the spot. But the next count is a different one. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, he allegedly threatened to unalive Daniel McDougall. This all came around last year on Christmas Day when Daniel was living on the streets. Basically, his mentor, Bob, went quiet on him, and then Daniel decided to call the police to get some sort of wellness check.
It is Christmas 2023 and I have called 911 to do a wellness check on Bob. The officer has told me that he is on site. It is Christmas 2023 and I just spoke to the police officer that did the wellness check on Bob, and the officer said Bob wants zero contact with me. It is Christmas 2023 and apparently Bob is alive, according to the police. I'm doing absolutely nothing. Okay, it is Christmas 2023, and I am doing zero celebration, and I will be on the streets for the next 3 weeks.
So as you can see, Bob has upset Daniel. Now again, earlier we spoke about how Daniel deals with his bad news. I'm not wanting to sound like I'm mocking his mental state, but because of it, he tends to act differently to the average person. However, there are some things that cannot be ignored, and that is threatening to unalive US Secret Service agents.
Don't know why Bob is doing this. He's turning on and off his phone, playing with my emotions. I fucking hate this. I hate this. Bob is being a bitch. Oh, fucking hell, bitch. I will fucking murder Bob. I will fucking have him fucking murdered. Oh, fuck, it's cold. Holy... I will fucking have Daniel McDougall fucking killed.
So this is one of the more famous meltdowns from Daniel, obviously known as the Christmas Day meltdown. I just find it interesting that according to the document, threatening to end a man's life is 5 years, but threatening to blow up a building is 10 years. But anyway, it's clear to see that from all these deleted videos I just showed you that Christmas wasn't very merry for Daniel that year. But to top that Christmas Day off, he would apparently spend that night in hospital, presumably due to the cold temperatures because of issues with his heart. Because like he said, he was living in the streets in that moment. But finally, count 7, back to the alleged bombings, and he allegedly threatened to bomb the FBI headquarters. And this takes us to literally 2 months prior to when I'm recording this video, so I guess this was the final straw. Essentially, March 23rd, Daniel was live on TikTok and he thought he was being followed by a grey SUV. He claims that the people following him were trolls, a group of teenagers, but also said it was Jacob Sartorius. I mean, yeah, sure. But after a little bit of a panicked rant, he threatened to unalive the FBI.
The FBI can go ahead and press legal charges on me. I will just kill their ass.
Now, I'm not going to play all of this because it is quite intense, and to a lot of people it could be quite disturbing. But I think from this clip, you get the gist of it. He's essentially made himself an enemy to the United States via TikTok. But it is worth noting that the estimated time of this trial was apparently 5 days or less. So the result could be found already. As far as I'm aware, at the time of recording, it's not public knowledge just yet. But the last of Daniel being a free man that we ever saw was him eating Buffalo Wild Wings. He was allegedly removed from the store for trying to defraud the establishment. I think his aim was to get food and say someone else was coming to pay when they just weren't. But literally 2 days after the Buffalo Wild Wings incident, he was later arrested, where he is currently remaining incarcerated. But I find it interesting to note that literally all of this comes around about 3 years after Daniel's very first appearance on the internet, because many people describe the May 6th incident as his first appearance. And this is where he burst onto the scene by going onto TikTok Live and exposing himself to around 500 people. So yeah, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show that or go into much depth because it's kind of disturbing. But some say this is where he started his rise as one of the most infamous lolcows that we know today. It's just fitting that it all happens in the same month. But anyway, I believe this is all the news that we have on him right now. If I have missed anything, please do feel free to let me know in the comments. But if you did enjoy this video, please do feel free to leave a like and subscribe. You know, it's completely free and it helps me out massively. You know, small channel. And yeah, cheers. Bye.